You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good.
Oh, Gunner.
Oh. Eric?
Oh, no.
Where'd you go, buddy? Uh-oh.
You see, Paul Levesque, you just couldn't fucking leave well enough alone. You couldn't. You just couldn't. Grind My Gears is going to take a break this week. Hunter, I have put you through the chair before. I guess you didn't learn it the first time. And well, you forced me to summon the one person who can look you dead in the face and tell you, knock it the hell off. As this show's title says, what the fuck was the point? Hello, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Spread the show. So, folks, you know what time it is. It's time for the Wrestling Asylum. You know me, E to the J, and Gunner to the Mood. Of course, like, share, subscribe, stay notified. Telegram, Baby Mama, Google Plus, your sister's ass, the Pony Express. What can Brown do for you? And, of course, fuck the post office. And, of course, make sure, as always, don't forget, check out the link tree. That's linktree/Off the Top Ropes podcast. This is where you can find everywhere we are. Check out the merch. Show some love. Help keep the lights on. If you're not down with that, well, suck it. Hey, I'll call a spade every day. But make sure, don't forget, check out our great brand ambassadors, OTTR and Swift and W Energy. 10% off OTTR Mob, the promo code. And of course, look fly for the rest of the summer going into the fall. Cozy Clothing and Habits 365. Make sure you look fresh at the club, the pool party, the end of the summer party, and going into the fall. Ladies, go check it out. You'll be glad you did. OTTR Mob's the promo code. And fellas, look fresh. And of course, like I said, W and Swift Energy, 10% off OTTR promo code. Lots of good flavors. Kick the coffee habit. And if you're not down with that, well. And of course, go to bonfire.com/store/Off the Top Ropes Network. We got all the shows. Pod Mob Men, Black Hearts Angels. Shout out to the ladies. And yours truly. We got the retro look. We got the secondary look with our first co-host, Mr. Christy Quinn, Mrs. Christy Quinn, whichever you want to go. Call her. She's always welcome here. And, of course, we got hoodies, tanks, sweatshirts, baseball caps. You never know what else you could find on there. And it's a different set of colors from gray to purple to green to puce. I'm fucking with you on the last one. Work with me here. And, of course, make sure you show the mob some love. Don't forget, check out our friends at Hardcore Sports. We're giving you all this great content every single week. So help us out. And also, if you're feeling like you want to get involved and you want to start streaming yourself, you see the QR code. That's StreamYard. You know what to do. I don't got to tell you anything else that you don't already know. And we have our emergency guard dog. Hello, Lily. Welcome.
I don't know where my putty's at, so I can't.
Yeah,
I
know. But
keep,
like
you
I
know
said,
the deal. Keep your wiener away from my putty.
I thought I saw a weenie and a putty tag. But this week, folks, the second half of the program, we're going to go into a brand new look for a wrestler's life we're going to talk about honoring these three men. Jon Moxley, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. I'm talking about the one faction that rewrote the book for modern day professional wrestling. Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, The Shield, and then Paul Triple H Levesque. You and I, we need to talk. And it ain't gonna be Eric. It ain't EJ either. You see the full name on the screen. You and I are going to have to come to Jesus. No grind my gears. You forced me to unleash. And I was hoping to save this till Halloween. But you left me no choice. You just couldn't leave well enough alone. You had to shit your pants again. You had to go to the fucking bloodline well. Not once. You summoned Eric the Joker, the foul-mouthed, intense, shit-talking asshole who will fry you, the IWC, and it ain't gonna fucking matter. I got no filter and no apology for it. So, Hunter, you will face a new built electric chair. And believe me, you won't like what comes next. So I recommend you strap yourself in. Which brings us to why this happened. Solo got screwed on Raw and forced to rejoin the Bloodline. Now, for those who don't know, Solo Sikoa for the last several weeks has become a natural babyface, meaning fan favorite. It's grown naturally over the last several years since he arrived in the WWE. Ever since they, quote-unquote, castrated the Samoan werewolf, Zilla Fatu, I'm pissed at that, Solo has been repeatedly telling them, no, I'm not coming back. Okay? Even Jacob had to threaten, if Roman tells me I've got to do this, I know we family, but I got to take it out and put you down. But then it begs the question, what the fuck was the point of the six-man tag at SummerSlam when you had Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo go over the Usos and Jacob, including Solo running it back and running his mouth? Last week, this past Monday on Raw, don't, Bobby, we're going to figure it out. You know, Jay made a promise. He would take his shot. Pew, 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 pew. And also, thanks a lot, Jimmy, you son of a bitch. Your underhanded bullshit caused this. So, again, I say, what the flying shit-stained fuck was the goddamn point? You have Jacob come in, new bloodline, the whole nine. He took his swing at Cody. Came this close. Solo took his swing because it forced Roman back after losing to Cody at SummerSlam 2 years ago. Okay? Over the last 2 years, Solo and Jacob have become fan favorites. Now you have the Usos, who had to go through shit with Roman, falling back in line, all because Roman feels some way. I don't fucking see where this is going, Gunner. So I'm going to propose this. Where the flying fuck is the logic here? You wrestle. You know how this works creatively to an extent. So I asked you, where is the point in all this shit?
I struggle to see a future ending for all this. The only one I could think of, and I don't even know if it's gonna go this way, is if it's gonna implode the Bloodline storyline and finally give that an end in some way. Where, stay with me, Solo, Jacob, we were talking off air how they should be going for tag titles. They should be going for singles titles right now instead of being looped back into the Bloodline storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know if this is how it's going to go, but this is the only trajectory I can see it. What if those two, maybe Solo's whispered in Jacob's ear, hey, we got to end the Bloodline. We got to, you know what I'm saying? That's literally the only way. And KB might be right. It could be another civil war.
Well, side note to this before you continue. What happened Friday night on SmackDown? Think about it. What did we talk about off air?
With Cody?
Triple that tag team match. What happened for the gold?
Yes. We have new tag champs with the MFTs, and Haku is back, ladies and gentlemen.
You pissed one of the most toughest, badass motherfucking Samoan elders. That part ain't, storyline, folks. That's a fucking shoot from the hip. Gunner, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But KB makes a point. I'm going to say this before you continue. When you finish, I'm going to pitch the idea that I pitched to you off air. I think the folks will like it. So continue what your thought was.
So my thought, just to wrap it up, is the only way that I can see it is that somehow, some way, Solo whispers into Jacob's ear, maybe reunites with the MFTs to really implode the Bloodline storyline, which, as KB brought up, it could lead to another civil war. But does the fans really want to see another Bloodline civil war? Do we really? I don't know. That's something that the fans would have to, be
Your
interested in.
voice sounded like Miz when you said really for a second there, buddy boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. So that's one way I'm looking to look at it, and that's valid. I see another scenario. Jacob, tries to gloat tomorrow on Raw. Solo's pissed. Like, legit pissed. Here's what I think you do. Jay can, quote unquote, deliver him in the ring. You hit the music. He's not there. You hit the music a second time. He won't show up. Now Roman's getting pissed. Here's what you do. You never see it coming. Haku walks onto the ramp. Solo is with him. But they don't see what comes. During the fight, Jacob's just standing there. Just like that, Jacob attacks Roman. And in the closing moments, we go to the back. They're talking about it. Okay? Stick with it. Here's what happens, folks. Jacob looks at Solo and goes, "You made a valid argument. Uncle Haku, we'll talk. Fellas, you already know. Yeah, I mean, run it back. As we pan out, we hear a phone go off. And fans are like, what the fuck? Is that camera guy? Solo pulls out his phone. Oh, shit. And you zoom in. It simply says, Dad. And he answers and goes, yeah, Pop. As he walks out of the camera, you hear, I'll make a stop in Orlando. It doesn't just say that Zilla doesn't come into play to help, but it teases the potential. You've already summoned Haku. What's Roman gonna do when you have to force Junior Fatu to walk into this in Rikishi to either talk some sense into his kids or have to go to a place he don't want to go? Oh, if somebody doesn't shit their pants again, which you're going to find out in the second half of the program what's going to come, I would like to hope so. To me, this was wasted. You just shit the bed. I see fans asking why the flying fuck then did you let him turn babyface? Okay, so what? Jacob inadvertently screwed the pooch, messed up Roy's keys. Guys, Royce is fine. Either the attack on Royce, the injured indefinitely, is bullshit. I smell something coming from Royce that we're not going to see right away. I think he's going to get involved in this fight. And
More than likely.
Slap Jacob's head up around upside the head to wake him up. I think the other way to do it would be to have Royce literally, and I mean this, I would have Royce do this. Have him be the one that called Rikishi in order to call Solo. That's a review. Another part of it, we get the internal civil war. All hell's breaking loose. And now it's starting to affect other elements of the roster. And then you haven't just pissed elders off. It forces the one man to come back and fucking handle it. Ain't no tribal chief. He ain't gonna dictate shit. You want to end this? The high chief himself, the final boss, has to show up and end this once and for all. And you know what you do? Go through Survivor Series. Right before the Rumble is where it comes to a head. That's where Rock steps in. And Rock goes, you better hope you have that belt when I face you. Because if you lose it, you're getting your ass kicked. So here's what I do. I go this route. We all know Obafemi is still guaranteed a title shot as the king of the ring. He can catch that whenever the fuck he wants. And remember, if they try to tell him no, can I borrow your advocate? I already know who he's going to go to get that done. So that ain't going to happen. Roman tries to use the bloodline to stop Oba. It backfires. Now Roman's lost the title. He now knows the High Chief is pissed. She go into the Rumble. Roman fails to win the Rumble. That is where you make your move. Rock comes out, rock bottom, and says, High Chief, says, Tribal Chief, my ass. Takes the Ulafala. Goes, you want it back? Come try and kick my ass in Riyadh, bitch. You wanted to wrestle me 2 years ago? The Cody movement happened. Just is. You want this so bad? How about this? Tribal combat. You leave everybody out of it. It's just you and me, cuz. For this. I teased I wanted to sit at the head of the table. Bitch, I built it. Now I'm coming to kick your ass. And you build from there. This isn't that complicated. Okay? When we talk about the Shield in the second half of the program, I'm going to tell you a storyline that I could have booked that could have gone for 3.5, 4 fucking years. Because he had all the key talent necessary. And the old fart didn't even do it. I'm sitting there going, this. So believe me, once again, shit the bed. So now, where does this go? What do we do? Gunnar, what would you do if you were booking this? How would you play it out?
Honestly, I kind of like what you pitched. I really do. But the only way I can see this storyline ending is a civil war in any capacity, whether the Rocket's involved or not. You know,
I mean,
it's really difficult to say how to actually book with what they're going with right now. Because you're right, Jacob and Solo became natural baby faces. They were becoming very beloved with the fan base. And now you're kind of castrating them, making them.
I don't get it.
I don't want to say they're heels because they're kind of tweeners at this moment. Because you see Jacob hesitant to do some things. We're probably going to see Solo be like, fuck you, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So
I'm just confused at the fact that you have a hell of a storyline to make a move on, and you literally just shit all over it. Like, for the life of me, this smells like a page, tongue-tied with all this, a page out of the old farts playbook. This smells like a page out of one Vince McMahon. I appreciate that, Bobby. I think the issue here that we're faced, I'm so fucking pissed. The story was right there. It was right there in front of it. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but it was right there. You fucking had it in the palm of your hand. And here's the thing. You had Solo getting LA Knight on his side. And now this. And now you do this shit. I can't, for the life of me, understand how you couldn't. I'm not seeing an end game, and I know this week the show's in Buffalo, but I'm gonna say this for what it is. You shit the bed. What the fuck was the point? What was the point of SummerSlam?
There wasn't a point.
What was the point of having Solo become a beloved babyface? I mean, folks, we saw it all over social media, from Instagram to Facebook to Twitter or X. Fuck. Fans were chanting for him like they were Solo, but more than anything, it wasn't forced. It came naturally. Key word, naturally. Yeah, wash your ass when you're done. Shit booking is right. Okay? I hate to say that. But what was the fucking point then to do this? Like, Christ. I think we got cheated. Worse than we thought. Worse than we thought.
Very strong possibility.
My brain hurts so bad from this.
I can see the smoke coming from your ears, brother. We're trying to figure this out. It's difficult to
smoke.
It's black and sooty looking, you know?
Yeah, smoke is an understatement. This is like, I don't know. Maybe the other part of it, all this, that's really got me going, oh shit. This could be worse than we thought. We got to talk about it because it does tie into it. Folks, the rumor mills are speculating and it could happen. Bayley to AEW. And then, of course, it's him. He came to NXT. We're going to talk about it. Zilla Fatu, baby. Bayley is the first female Grand Slam champion. Plain and simple. Okay? You mean to tell me that she's rethinking staying in WWE and wants to join her best friend in Jacksonville? I don't fault her for it. But a year ago at WrestleMania in Vegas, you took her off of it after she busted her balls, no pun intended, and her juicy booty, to get that moment, and you fucked her, all for Becky Lynch. I'm livid with that. But we're going to dive into that. And then NXT, Waller, Santana, a.k.a. Montana, #1 contender to face Tony D. It was in the closing moments. The shock heard around the world, and it is
few moments later.
Zilla Fatu has arrived in NXT, and he's made it clear he's coming for Tony D. He's coming for the champion. Make no mistake. If you have not seen what Zilla is capable of, I do not know what the hell have you been missing. The stare down, telling them there's a new sheriff, telling them that's what I'm here for. I don't think you people realize Zilla is Jacob's brother, son of Rikishi. I'm telling you all right now, you have no fucking idea the beast that you've unlocked. Okay? If you think for a minute Zilla's going to fall in line, he said it right on his own social media. Nope. So once again, we have a creative situation. Tony Khan is not innocent. He's had those moments. We all have said this over the years.
more than we want to admit.
But Hunter and the son of Umaga. Well, son of Umaga, nephew of Rikishi. Y'all get the point. Okay? The fact of the fucking matter is, you want that civil war? Okay. But you just pulled the wild ace in the deck. You thought Jacob was a badass motherfucker? You thought Solo was bad? Go ask Ricky Saints what Zilla Fatu can do. Go ask his own flesh and blood, because he's had his own with Jacob. Go ask Cruz Montoya, a.k.a. Mike Santana. I have been monitoring that boy for a long time. The fact they brought him in now, too coincidental, but if they throw him as the wild one and all that, then I see the logic to some degree. We're going to get to Bayley in a minute, but
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
okay, Hunter, this is basically what you are doing to the fans right now with Solo going.
I'm like, what he say fuck me for?
Like, dude, shit. You got even Stephen A. Smith going, this bullshit, not again. Okay? I could see that being the case. Oh, I was just about to say the same thing. That's one of his biggest fucking rivals. And they tagged at one point too. Yep. Okay? The fact of the matter is this. You can't fucking tell me that if you want the Civil War, that's fine, but you needed the one card, the one wild card, the draw for, as KB put it, in that deck that's going to really spice this up. You're out of your fucking mind if that ain't going to happen. You're nuts. You're nuts. I'll call a spade a spade. You're out of your mind. To me, if that's the catalyst, now you have a piece of logic to build. But right now, until we see what they're going to do, what the fuck was the point? I'm happy Zilla's there. I didn't want him on the main roster right now, because we all know what was going to happen. Who was going to come to him? Roman was going to try to castrate him. You know, and I know, Gunner. Zilla ain't going to play that game.
No, not at all.
What do you think about them bringing in Zilla? How do you see this playing out?
I am super excited that Zilla is in WWE now. I said it off air. I'm a little shocked that he wasn't put on the main roster right away, but I also see why he's in NXT. NXT is great for a lot of the higher indie guys to get used to the WWE program, to get used to their in-ring style. So I can see why he's in NXT. And plus, let's be honest, Zilla is gonna rule NXT very, very shortly. I give it within the next year. We'll see him with that NXT title. There's not a doubt in my mind with that. But all in all, dude, I am super excited for Zilla. Like you said, I also have been following him for quite some time. I've seen what he's done on the indies, the matches he's pulling off. I mean, on a little funny note, this is the man that wrestled a match with an iPhone in his pocket.
Yep.
He did it, guys. He wrestled the entire match with a brand spanking new one, like a few days old?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was a brand new iPhone, and he wrestled a match, and it worked out perfectly fine. So that tells you what kind of worker he is. But I'm very excited to see what they got in store for Zilla, and if he does join this Bloodline storyline,
You're wasting it.
It's wasting it. But I'd be interested to see what happens with that. But if we're gonna keep him on NXT, dude, Tony just lost his godfatherhood.
That's an understatement and a half.
I'm well aware, but that's the only way I can describe it. Is we got, as Zilla said, there's a new sheriff in town in NXT. We're gonna see
Okay.
some carnage, boys, and I'm excited to
You're
see
going to
what's
see
gonna
some
happen.
violence. Now, let's shift over to the situation with, I don't know, the shit going on with Bayley. One of the 4 horsewomen, one of the women that helped change women's wrestling from the era of the tramp stamp belt. Yeah, I called it that. Yeah, I said it. You don't
He's not
like
wrong.
it, kiss my ass. Even Roman looked at it, go, what the fuck?
Nada.
And you gave it life. Like, you changed. Bingo. You fucked her out of a Mania moment that she had earned. Yes, a couple years back, she had a great moment at WrestleMania. Nobody's going to argue that one. She had a hell of a WrestleMania moment a couple years back. She earned that one, all that shit. But she earned another one with Lyra, and look what happened. All over Becky? Really? I'm dumbfounded here. Okay, I am so fucking dumbfounded. I'm like this. You closed it out with, Lyra going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Which,
With
but
that,
might I say, I'm loving this new character shift for her.
oh, I think it's great, but I'm sitting there and going, oh shit. How do we keep it going? And it's like, no. They're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's literally me sitting here scratching my head going, what in the flying fuck are they doing? And we've watched Unreal. We know what that room looks like. Now, yes, I will say you do have to, build new stars and stuff. I'm not going to argue that. But folks, you have a star builder right there and you're shitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's something breaking. We all wanted to see it happen. They signed Austin Creed, Kofi. They did it. Yeah, shut the fuck up and take my money. Battle of the Buddha meat. Okay, I'll say it for what it is. But Bayley's proving that ain't no BBL. We know Tony Storm ain't got one. Need we say more? But the fucking fact that you were about to run another WWE talent into the hands of Tony Khan, who could potentially revitalize her career.
Potentially, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Okay. Yes. Tony's messed up at times, but look at some of the WWE talent he's used. He's used them as an attraction, which was smart. It was the right thing to do. The right thing to fucking do. You can't tell me different. It was the right thing. But more importantly, here's the other piece de resistance to this. Okay. You know what else? Tony, in the beginning, and you all can run your mouth. I know how the IWC gets. If you don't like how he did it or how Hunter's doing it like we've said, put our money where our mouth is, start our own shit. But me, I'm critiquing it from a place of where's the logic? Where's this going to go business-wise? Plain and simple. Okay? So that's number one. Two, here's the part that really bothers me. Yes, you got to bring up newer talent. I understand that. But how in the flying hell are you not going to rely on one of the women who busts her ass for you? Hasn't had a major injury. Barely has ever missed a shot. Has gotten people over. You mean to fucking tell me? I'm promising you, if she goes to AEW, you know, I know, there's going to be some good matches. Here's one. Bobby's right. Willow Nightingale. And here's another thing. So, side note to this. Everybody's pissed at the fact that Britt Baker isn't back on the air. Hi. She dealt with a really bad, nasty injury. Tony's trying to figure out where to have her creatively. He's not wanting to waste that. He's learning it. I don't think you fucking fans get this. Maybe I need to spell it out. Tony Khan basically built AEW using indie stars. Talent you've never seen. Guess what? A lot of them never held major championship gold. They fucking did. Okay? Now, yes, some left to go to WWE for whatever. That's on them. Okay? Here's another thing. This constant gratification, nah. Doesn't work. Because it fucks up the story. Tony was smart enough to drag it out. Yes, he has more pay-per-views. But he uses the in-between pay-per-views to tell the story to the bigger one. And sometimes you get that curveball of a title defense or a shocking W. He's learning that. And that's what makes him good at what he's doing. He's young and he's picking that up. Is he stumbling? Sure. But guess what? You mean to tell me that you can't fucking figure out a way to see to it? And I mean this. That Bayley's involved to help build that talent. You still have women in NXT. Yeah, that's money. Okay? Zarya. There's one. Haven't faced her yet. You could have her work with Sol Ruka. You mean to tell me you couldn't figure out a way to have Sol and Bayley? Bayley doesn't have to necessarily be a heel, but you have Bayley come out, issue an open challenge, and say, I'm chasing gold, but right now I want a challenge. Out comes Sol and goes, hey, look, I have nothing but love and respect, but if it's a challenge you want, let me take it. Let me see how good I am at this point. Bayley picks up the upset. Sol and her share a moment. Sol goes, I want to run that back. No yeet intended. Okay. But
like a pony. I'm a pony. I'm a pony.
At this particular point, you are going to watch Hunter fuck this up. And Hunter,
They are trash. Horrible.
Gunner, are we really about to see? Because she tweeted and teased it, and it has the higher ups at WWE and TKO fucking pissed. So she's going to pull what Ciampa did. Because guess what? When Ciampa's contract ran out, technically, there was no non-compete. If you opted out early before it was up, you had a 30 or 90 day, whether you were NXT or the main roster. But if you truly let it go, so maybe Bayley is saying, okay, I'm going to follow what Ciampa did. Fuck you. Watch this. And sits the remainder, and she has to be paid. Has to be paid. And guess what? She could show up on Dynamite or an All In. Take who? Okay? Because at this point, you're fucking it up, Hunter. And you're going to face me one more time. But Gunner, what does the roster do if you lose a stronghold like Bayley? Oh, shit. Yeah. And this is no slight to Jordan Grace. He's getting screwed because there's not enough TV time. They went back 2 hours.
The only solution I could really give, and if they lose Bayley, you say they're losing one of the 4 horsewomen, one of the 4 that revolutionizes business, as you put it, the Trans Stamp title, the ugly ass butterfly title. I'm sorry to all the little girls out there that love that title. That title was ugly to us guys. All right.
Again, it was trash.
It was. And yes, it had its moments. It had its moment in the spotlight. I get it. But you're losing Bayley. We lost Sasha Banks. Now
Tell me about that.
Right. We lost her. She's doing her thing with New Japan, AEW, and Ring of Honor, and all the other things in between. She became, what was it? Money 10 belts or whatever the fuck?
Yeah. Monet 14 belts or whatever lame ass bullshit.
Right.
To pull a Becky.
So she's killing it outside of it. But Bayley is very much a WWE girl. She's been a WWE girl since day one.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you're looking to let that go. You know what I think what they should do with her, and I feel like they could do this with Jordan too. Hunter can't do nothing. But there's somebody, a certain dead man in Mexico.
Shit, that's being discussed. Do you realize that's what they're discussing for, I don't know, Ilya Dragunov?
Should.
As they should. It's why Ray Phoenix is there.
Dude, Taker is killing it with AAA.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I catch AAA here or there, and I see the clips, and from what I'm seeing, AAA might be one of the hottest promotions that's not WWE or AEW. Granted, yes, it's under the WWE banner.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just look at AAA as AAA, the brand has been around for what, 25 years? If not more. This is the hottest I've seen AAA been in the entirety of knowing it. And it's because the dead man and forgive me, I forget his name that's working with him. They're killing it down there. They did what everybody's saying.
They started in 1992, so they've been at it for, okay, so let's see. We're in 2026. Let me see if my math in my head is right.
30-odd years, something like that.
We're almost 3.5 decades in.
Yeah, okay. So 30 plus years of being a thing.
Uh-huh.
And this is the hottest that I've seen them, especially in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You look at, I don't know, Eric, if you listen to a lot of like Conrad's Empire and all that, but everybody's there. All right. So everybody there, everybody outside of Conrad Thompson's Empire, they are all saying the same thing about the El Grande Americano match. It's one of the greatest matches ever.
You lost Asuka. You lost Kyrie. You lose Bayley. We got a problem.
We got a very big problem.
Okay, you mean to tell me you couldn't have taken Zelina Vega and let her go work at AAA before you let
Right?
her go? You couldn't have figured out a way to do something with Alistair?
And forgive me, Bailey's Hispanic, yes?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's of Latino descent in some way, shape, or form. You put her ass in fucking AAA. I know she did the Queen of the Della Rey, whatever the hell the tournament was.
Mm-hmm.
I know she did that last year or 2 years ago. But you put her down in AAA and let her run, she'll be over like a motherfucker down in AAA.
Okay, so listen. All right. She got a little bit, she's got Mexican descent. So she's a mix. She's part Mexican, part whatever, depending on which side of her family she's on. But trust me,
Hunter, I doubt you watch this program, but if you do, I'm telling you, give her to Taker. Give
shit.
Jordan to Taker. If you can't use her because I get it. SmackDown went back down to 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which,
get it. There's
which,
not enough TV time for 90% of the men and women in the back. Jeremy Borash, thank you.
thanks, Bobby.
There's a lot of men and women in the locker room right now that they're just sitting and catering because we don't have enough television. What is WWE, AEW going to do? Well, mostly WWE. Are we going to run a Monday morning 2 hour long program just to get another group of talent on?
Right.
Like, there's not, I've been saying this in my personal life. There's not enough hours in the day, guys. You can't just go, all right, we're going to add 5 more TV shows a week just to substitute for the massive talent we had. You got to go through loops. And that's why football teams have guys on backup, because you never know. Quarterback could be injured. We need a backup quarterback.
Breaking new MLW World Tag Champs. It's Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers. Shout out to
Damn it,
them.
my coach lost his title again.
Yeah. But continue that.
Because I said, for those who don't know, I train at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. Dijak's one of the coaches, so that's why. That's why I said that. But anyways, Bayley needs to go to AAA because she needs to stay under that WWE banner. If she goes to AEW, yes, she could kill it. She could have the match with Tony Storms, the Willow Nightingales, the this, the that, tag again with Mercedes Moné. But we also have the track record with AEW and Tony Khan's booking.
As well, because sometimes things,
Who's to say that if she does sign with AEW, right, and it's on a Dynamite or Rampage or whatever the hell shows are on with them now, who's to say that she's not the only debut or return that night? We've seen it happen. It goes from, oh shit, so-and-so is here, to, oh shit, somebody else is here. 5 returns, 5 debuts later, you forget who first debuted that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you see it with the WWE talent that's come over. Some of them, yeah, they're doing great. The Edges, the Mercedes, the insert other names here. But then you got guys like, I would say Tommaso Ciampa. Started off hot. Now it's just kind of there.
That's a fucking understatement and a half.
They have that track record of, we are gonna really hype you up in the beginning, but then we might bury you because we add 2 more returns or debuts.
Right.
We may really give you a good start, but now you're just kind of you're the new that meme from Toy Story. Okay, I'm done playing with you now.
Exactly. And here's the part that I don't think everybody realizes. You have a situation where you don't have a choice. You don't. I mean, I'm going to say it for what it is. We don't have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. If Bayley leaves, and here's another thing, you want to know what else? Bayley could be freed up to do something that Mercedes wanted to do. She could go to Japan. She could go to CMLL. She can, fuck. When Tony can't use her, I have a hell of an idea. Just hear me out. When Tony can't use her, you know what you do? Let her hit the indies. Let her have some fun. She can do, all that shit. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. If Bayley comes on the indie scenes, do you realize how crazy ticket sales will go for the indies? Natty should have left a long time ago, in my opinion.
Understatement.
Yeah.
Now, see, Bobby brings up a good point in this, and I'm enjoying this conversation. What would WWE do if Natty left? I think Natty retires there. She's enjoying the new character that she's brought up. I also think she's trying to get the girls situated. Because
Honestly,
here's the reality. If you don't help get the newer girls prepared, you're screwed.
Honestly, I would not be shocked if she retires for ring competition, she becomes a agent for the female talent.
She should.
She absolutely should. But I also think that Natty should have left a while ago. But I understand she's WWE born and bred.
I think she should.
But again, when it comes to Bayley, you say she could go to Japan. She could go to CMLL. She could come to the Indies. Look at I'm gonna shout out Limitless Pro Wrestling right now here in New England, up in Maine. The amount of AEW, TNA, maybe the little under NXT banner talent that they have had recently is mind-boggling. If you could get Bayley in a Limitless Wrestling ring, Randy, I'm telling you, bro. If you're watching this and Bayley comes available, get her, bro. Get her.
Same thing for ESW in Buffalo. Brett, if she becomes a free agent, bring her in for a one-off or something. Don't matter. The point is, you now open up the door for new ideas and different things. I'm all for that.
Right.
It's the principle of the matter. It's the principle. Because the reality is, yes, I concur. We must, at the very least, get the new crop of women squared away and comfortable and set on the main roster. Because I'm telling you, a couple of years from now, Natty retired. Becky Lynch has said this is probably her final contract, and she's going to retire to be a mom. More of a mom.
Go be a mom, Becky. Seriously.
She's earned it.
She's earned it. Look at her resume. Bonafide first ballot Hall of Famer just because of what she did at WrestleMania that 1 year.
No,
you know what's on.
It's the night she got hit by Nia Jackson. It changed.
That too. You take those two moments alone, the first female main event of WrestleMania, and the fact that she had her own Stone Cold Steve Austin moment.
Exactly.
You take those two moments alone, guys, that's a Hall of Fame career right there. Right fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
But if Becky's gonna retire after this contract, Becky, I salute you, darling. You did a hell of a job. But we can't let. I'm gonna keep going to Bayley because we need to keep Bayley in the WWE banner. Whether she's in AAA, she goes back down to NXT and helps out the NXT talent, or she's what Becky Lynch is doing right now, where she's gone for a couple of months, comes back to do something, goes away for a couple of months, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, I'll bring her up again because she was brought up earlier. She's one of those talent that if she got let go, it would suck because I would love to see her be a former WWE Women's Champion.
Down
main
the
event.
road, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see her be that top tier female talent. But if
She
she
can
lets
still
go,
go back to TNA. She can still go to AEW. She could go other places.
right? She has options. She's not.
You know what she could do?
What could she
Here's
do?
one. She could hit the NWA. She could hit the Indies. You know what? Her and Bayley could do what Bobby just proposed. Giselle Shaw is still the inaugural Maple Leaf Pro Women's Champion. Nobody's beaten her yet. Come close, but nobody's pinned her for the title yet. Because look at Giselle. She's also killing it, doing independence, working for the NWA as well. So you can't sit there and say there's not options for them.
Right.
It's more of the principle of the matter. It's how can you fuck up this bad? Not saying that Tony Khan isn't innocent. He has his moments too. But Hunter, this is a mainstay. Yes, I get it. You want to get the younger women in there. I have no beef with that. I really don't. Want to know what my beef is? My beef is simply this. How are you letting those bastards in the new headquarters tell you what to do? Shit, you could have Bayley even go into places like POW facing Catalina Perez. You'd have her facing Ali Rikes. You'd have Kylan King. She'd have so many places to go and new faces to work with. Fuck, she could go up against one of my favorites in the Indies, Amber Nova. She could come to Buffalo and face fan favorite Christina Marie. She has options and places to go. Problem is, it's the principle.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you lose her, she'll be fine, but you lose a building block. And we all know how sometimes losing too many building blocks can bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, it don't end well, folks. It's not pretty. So my question is, what do we got to fucking do to make sure that this shit doesn't happen? Creatively. You can't, of course, you can't just throw more money because, you know what? I'm going to use this as the quick analogy. Okay. I don't know if you feel like taking a quick break, Gunner, but with the way we're going, we're flowing. So
we're going, bro. That's up to you if you want to take a break. I can keep going.
All right. But here's my thing. This is just me. Okay. Before we get on to the next piece of business. Here's another thing. Bayley's got options. Jordan Grace could do the same shit. Okay. It's getting to the point, once again, plenty of places to go, a lot of inflated rosters. Shit, here's an idea. Bayley could end up in a place nobody would expect. She could go to GCW. She could end up at HOG. I got you a better one. Who currently sits as the MLW World Champion?
Do tell, because I actually don't know that.
Killer Cross. So there's plenty of places for her. Okay? My thing is, she could work Shotzi in MLW. Scarlett. She could work Lady Frost. Zamaya, Priscilla Kelly. That would be a good one. She has talent that she can work with there. She has talent in NWA. And I'm going to sit here and pull up that roster because guess what? I think people need to see that.
The NWA roster?
I'm pulling that up. She could face Tiffany Knives. She could face Giselle Shaw. Pretty empowered. Okay? She could face the likes of the Hacks, Kenzie Page, Kylie Page, Levi, Natalia Markova, Serena Vale. Like I said, Tiffany Knives, their women's champ. She has a shit fuck load of goddamn talent there. Okay? I'm going to rattle off the names from Maple Leaf Pro.
Do it.
Okay? And I'm doing this because I'm trying to prove, I'm going to prove my point. Okay? Hunter, if you fuck this up, if you don't figure out a way to use her elsewhere, okay. Here we go. Alexa Nicole, Alice Crowley, okay? Aurora Tevz, Danny Luna, again, Giselle Shaw, okay? She has plenty. Priscilla Kelly's a good one, okay? She has a tank. Vanna Black. Shit. She has so much to work with. Okay? So this is the point I'm making. Okay? Before we continue. And we're going to dive into our next topic here shortly. But here's what I'm going to say before we take a quick break. All right? Here's my point. We are in not a must win. We are in a if you lose her, it proved the rumors of TKO wanting to push out key veterans to build the new stars, but you don't push one of them. You had the old fart who looked like a 70s porno star with that fucking mustache off of Timu, looking like a fucking bootleg Walt Disney, piss off Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, aka Moné 12 belts, 18 belts, jack off however many belts, whatever the fuck you want to call it. She don't want to go back. Trinity, wonder who that could be. And her walked out together. Trinity went and remade herself in TNA. Hunter was the one that bridged that gap. Thank you, Bobby. The point is, now you're in a situation you have no choice. The point is, you don't. Try not to fucking go off until it's time to let him out. But the point is,
keep it in. Keep it in, buddy. Deep yoga breath. He can come out later. We're not yet.
Shit. Okay? My point is this. We fucked up. If you do that, that's not just a spit in the fucking face. That's a bitch slap. Bayley is one of those locker room leaders. Can't fuck that up. But folks, let us know in the chat what you think, because for right now, I'm going to say this. We need to take a break. I think y'all earned it. We're going to be right back. And when we get back, well, like I said, time to honor the Shield. And then it's been a while since I let that motherfucker. Call Levesque. Again. We'll see you after the break, folks. And folks, we're back.
We are.
So, to summarize the first half of the program, we're happy for Zilla Fatu, and basically we're pissed off about everything else. Well, that brings me to a very good segment of mine. You know, we like to talk about the moments in history, our booking ideas and what ifs, even analyzing matches. But I think it's safe to say there's one in particular where we dig into the careers of the wrestlers. And I think because after the main event of night 2 at SummerSlam with Roman and Seth Rollins, what better way, other than the fact that they paid tribute to the third member? Gee, I wonder who that could be.
I think it was a Dean.
Yeah, but he
Maybe a John. I don't know.
But he became himself and became a Death Rider. That being said, I got 6 letters. They make up a great trio. And they're words that they use in the military. Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta. This, folks, is to honor the Shield. Well, it's Moxley, Rollins, Reigns. Now, many of you people don't know that 2 out of these 3 men actually were independent wrestlers. Jon Moxley and Tyler Black. Yep, I said it. I said it. But these guys killed it in the indies. Roman was playing football, got hurt, and eventually wanted to get into the family business. Well, a red letter date would be November 18th, 2012. Another one would be May 25th, 2019 for that man. Of course, steering the ship in the WWE would be his other 2 brothers, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The Shield ruled pro wrestling right now. I'll explain in a minute. So let's go back in time. It was Survivor Series. It was a moment where those 3 men served as hired guns for CM Punk during Punk's infamous 434-day reign as champion. After killing it individually and collectively in NXT, the early years of what we would become known as NXT, these 3 guys came up with some amazing ideas. Mox even had an attempted storyline with Mick Foley, which backfired. Had a great student-teacher match with William Regal. He would go on to hold practically, well, he joined the Grand Slam Club before we had that fucking Universal title. I think Vince had his head up his ass or stowed it 8 pounds of blow that day. All right. Ambrose, as he was known, was in a tag team in the Indies with another guy. They were known as the Switchblades. Shout out to Jay White, no pun intended. But this guy retired as a TNA OG a couple years back, and I get rocked in the head with the sometimers. Who, what? Oh, yeah, Sammy Callahan, that's right. Okay. The fun part about this is for Dean Ambrose, aka Moxley, eventually when they broke up the Shield, they didn't want to do it, but Mox was pissed. But he would go on to feud with Seth, and eventually, here's another red letter date. It was in the summer, going into the summer of 2016. And ironically, guess what? Newsflash, folks, and you're going to shit. Okay? It was in Las Vegas. Seth had returned not long before after that near career-ending injury after WrestleMania 32 at Extreme Rules. At Money in the Bank 2016, Seth would recapture the WWE World Heavyweight title from Roman, only for moments later for Dean Ambrose to fulfill a promise he had made 2 years earlier and sneak attack and capitalize Dirty Deeds, aka the Paradigm Shift DDT 1, 2, 3, and became WWE World Champion. Eventually, we'd have our Shield reunions, but then they tried to turn Seth heel after we had learned that the big dog, Roman Reigns, not only had leukemia, but it had gone active, and that he would have to go and get healthy. And it was in late 2018 when that happened. And during that time, gonna refresh my memory, but didn't something else happen in September of that year, right after the heel turn? Something in Chicago, 10,000 seats. It would cause the birth of another promotion. Gunnar, do you remember what that was?
I'm failing. I'm honestly failing.
All In. It would create the momentum necessary because by 2019, Dean Ambrose, who we now know and love as Jon Moxley, was getting so pissed off with creative that he felt like they're going to fuck me and make me walk away from all this money. But it wasn't until his final match where he checked out. And guess what? In April, after the last chapter match against Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre, it would be the shocking less than a month later, April 30th, 2019, Dean Ambrose left. May 25th, a month later, rolling the dice in Sin City, MGM Grand Garden Arena. After the main event, which saw Jericho get a one-up on Kenny Omega after their banger in Japan earlier that year, actually 2 years earlier, guess what? Moxley would shock Jericho and the fans in the arena. Jon Moxley had arrived. Mox would become a 4-time AEW World Champion. He is currently holding the Continental title. He had an infamous 9-month reign where he hid the title in a briefcase, some nasty tactics, but it would take Hangman Adam Page last summer here in Dallas at All In a Texas death match, a match so violent, he's never beaten Hangman. And guess what? He gave his blood, sweat, and tears. He is happy in AEW because he's getting to genius and create. And you can all get pissed. Oh, why isn't Claudio having the world title? Or why isn't Pac? Let me explain something to you. The Death Riders are in a unique spot. Helping get Marina Shafir, Garcia. Shit, you just had the thing with Ospreay. So now they're being used in a whole new way. Give it time. Hi. These guys are doing things in CMLL. They're doing things in other promotions. So patience, please. But Mox runs AEW from a Shield perspective. Now, mind you, Roman wasn't too thrilled either. See, most people do not know that Roman Reigns was a college football player at Georgia Tech. And unfortunately for him, Pro Bowl did not end up coming his way. All right. Tried to play for the Vikings, tried to play for the Jags. Shit, even tried to play for the Canadian League for Edmonton. But guess what? He got hurt. He was known as Liaki in NXT for a short time before they came up with the concept for the Shield. As a member of the Anoa'i family, the son of one of the Wild Samoans. Can you guess which one? Huh? Could you? Can you? Afa or Sika? Who is it?
Alpha.
That's right.
Yeah.
Roman has said many times he was pissed when they got rid of the Shield. He was not happy. Okay. And I don't think WWE, when they signed him in 2010, knew what they had. Okay. He would have, at one point, he actually, early in his career, before they formed the Shield, guess what happened? He actually had a triple threat match between the two men. He was going to end up forming a brotherhood. Get that one. He actually battled Ambrose, a.k.a. Mox, and Seth in a triple threat before rebranding FCW into NXT. He was nicknamed the Big Dog because he was one tough powerhouse sumbitch. Okay? Eventually, in 2014, after turning on the Authority and eventually putting one other faction, a.k.a. Evolution, then the infamous night Seth stabbed every fan in the back and his own brothers. Guess what? He struck out on his own. Roman would go on to also become a hell of a Grand Slam champ. He would have great feuds. Randy Orton, Kane, Bray Wyatt, many others. His feud with the Authority, magnificent. But as things were progressing for the Big Dog, a.k.a. the OTC, a.k.a. the Tribal Chief, there was a problem. fans felt like the old man was forcing them down their throat. The infamous suffer succotash comes to mind. But it wasn't until the scare with leukemia that he revealed to us that he was suffering with that made me realize, oh shit, he is giving everything. But during that controversial rise, he eliminated Rusev in the 2015 Royal Rumble, gaining a title shot, and even his cousin, The Rock, helped him. But Seth and him would still be intertwined because at Mania 31, Seth cashed in his Money in the Bank and pinned Roman. Become champion. He would go on to face Braun Strowman. He's faced Jericho. He's faced Ziggler, Del Rio, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Claudio, Sheamus, many others. But what really helped get him over the edge was when he battled current head of creative himself in 2016, Triple H, over the WWE Championship. Then he had a 30-day suspension. It was reported that they knew about it before the event where he would lose the title back to Rollins at Money in the Bank before Dean would cash in on Seth. But what people don't realize is that suspension inadvertently caused by the medication that he was taking for the leukemia. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. This is only, as Conrad Empire Thompson would say, rumor and innuendo. Okay? Roman went on to do great things. He became a Grand Slam champion. He's battled leukemia and come back from it. He's faced the likes of Vince McMahon, Elias, Shane, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, many others. And we get a bigger problem. It is, COVID. What was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 36, COVID happened, and the match that was supposed to happen against him and Goldberg for the Universal title, in which Goldberg defeated one Bray Wyatt, aka The Fiend, prior to, Roman had to pull out for his health.
Can't fault him for it, though.
Mm-hmm. But it would be at SummerSlam in 2020 where Roman returned and attacked the new Universal Champion Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. But towards the end of SmackDown that week, as he was signing a new quote-unquote contract to come to SmackDown, some very familiar words. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. And as the camera panned out, Paul Heyman went, believe that.
What?
Heyman would help rise the birth of the tribal chief, which would in turn give birth to the greatest 1,316 what? Reign
What?
as undisputed champion. He would go on to merge the Universal and WWE championships at WrestleMania 38 against his longest rival, Brock Lesnar. He would also have to deal with a more revitalized Seth Rollins over the years, who was eventually getting so pissed off and hell-bent on taking down the Bloodline, he'd be making unlikable allies in KO, Edge, Bryan Danielson, Rey Mysterio, and others who tried to take down the Bloodline. Hell, even the Demon King came up short to dethrone Roman. No thanks to the old fart off of wish.com.
And the red light.
Oh, God, don't remind me of that. But then something special happened prior to the titles merging. He faced at a Survivor Series. It was champion versus champion. He'd face Big E. However, by 2022, as the Bloodline was running rampant and getting white hot, Roman had the biggest scare for his health. He would test positive for COVID. Now, mind you, he followed all his procedures. He was healthy. He would return in time for the Royal Rumble. And of course, we all know what happened from there. He would go on to face Goldberg, who stepped to challenge him. He stepped to Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, and Randy Orton after WrestleMania 38. He would even battle the likes of Logan Paul,
Boo.
Brawling Brutes. He would help bring forth the debut of his cousin Solo Sikoa. Hell, he broke Gunther's reign as NXT UK champion in 2023. But then something happened that no one anticipated in 2020. An American nightmare. The grandson of a plumber and the son of the American dream would leave the very promotion he helped start to come back and finish something he had promised to his now late father many years ago. Roman would be chased by the likes of KO, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and many others. Meanwhile, the Bloodline as a whole, Jimmy and Jay, would be doing Roman's bidding. But the cracks for Roman started to show towards the end of 2023 into 24. 2 years ago, it got teased. The Rock and Roman. But due to the backlash and to Rock being smart enough to listen to the fans, and this is post-merger, the OTC would accept a rematch at WrestleMania 40, but with a twist. He would team with the High Chief, the final boss, his own cousin, to try and put down Cody Rhodes and Rollins. But it was at night one that should Cody win, the match would be one-on-one. But if Roman and tribal combat, aka Bloodline rules, anything goes. Of course, night one, Cody and Seth came up short. But night 2, Roman helped crown Cody Rhodes as the new champion. And he took a time off and gave leadership to Solo. When Jimmy got kicked out of the group by the Tongans, Haku's sons, as well as Jacob Fatu, Paul Heyman was very much in fear. And then, because Solo tried to declare himself the true tribal chief, the new one, well, Roman didn't like that. So, SummerSlam of 24, not only would he return as the OTC, but he put his own cousin down and in check and would spend months chasing after his Ulafala, the symbol, even going so far as to tag with Sami Zayn and CM Punk, who had returned at Survivor Series the year earlier. But it would be the final boss who booked Roman and Solo on the season premiere of Netflix January last year for Raw, with the stipulation whoever won would become tribal chief. Roman and Solo put on a hell of a match, but staying true to one-on-one and tribal combat, Roman would end the feud and reclaim the title and the Ulafala, with Rock presenting it. Over the course of the following year, Roman had his in-betweens, but going into Mania 41, he still had issues with Seth. He even had to swallow Crow from the fact that it would now be a triple threat match between Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. And Punk decided to cash in on the favor he was owed if he promised to help put the new Bloodline down. Roman turned around and didn't allow, albeit pissy, Paul Heyman to be in Punk's corner at WrestleMania. But it was what happened at WrestleMania 41 that was the complete twist. Heyman would betray both Punk and Roman and now align himself with Seth Rollins. Overall, this past year, Roman has picked up his momentum and gotten his stride. He and CM Punk have fought, and he has taken the World Heavyweight Championship from CM Punk at WrestleMania 42. He has had to even face his own cousin, and now attempting to quote-unquote rebuild the bloodline. But what brought everything full circle was what happened this past 2 weeks at SummerSlam. After a 14-year, or bitter 12-year rivalry, beef, whatever, Roman finally defeated Seth Rollins. And newsflash, the Shield chapter was over. Paying tribute to their boy, Jon Moxley. Signature up against the middle rope, comeback clothesline, paradigm shift, whole thing. After 12 years, this chapter of the Shield had been closed, which brings us to the architect, the visionary, the revolutionary, the one and only, Seth Rollins. Seth had a unique path. He worked in the Indies just like Mox did, but would go through Ring of Honor and flounder for a while in NXT and almost got fired, folks. Okay. For Seth, he would eventually join the main roster with the Shield. But it's when he betrayed them June 2014 after putting what we thought would be Evolution down, which would in turn mold us into the Authority storyline. Seth would go on to shock the world after winning the 2014 Money in the Bank. And well, let's just say for all intents and purposes, he shocked the world at Mania 31, cashing in his title shot and pinning Roman Reigns after making it a triple threat for the WWE Championship against Brock and Roman. He'll go on to have a great first reign as champion. But during a house show against Kane, injury struck, causing him to have to relinquish the title. But it would be when he was healing and coming back. It was after he came back at Extreme Rules 2016, where he would begin the chase again. Eventually, he was betrayed when a new Universal Champion had to be crowned after Seth took on the Demon King at SummerSlam. And that infamous buckle bomb onto the barricade, causing, how many months was it? About 9? For Balor's career. But as the gears began to twist, teases of a reunion would happen, whether it was Survivor Series, whether it was what? Well, herein lies a bigger problem. He would eventually have to battle his own mentor, Triple H. He would become the Kingslayer. By the time we got to WrestleMania 35 and he finally got Brock one-on-one, he would beat Brock for the Universal title. By the time we got to the pandemic, well, he'd gone into this metamorphosis of a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, almost felt like he was a god to himself moniker. And guess what? Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. We would get the quote unquote, and this is one of the ones that I thought was fucking hilarious, the Messiah, which I thought was hilarious.
The Messiah.
But it gave us the Burn It Down music, and eventually he would become the Visionary. He would then go on for the newly re-established heavyweight championship, and he would go on to win that belt in the finals 3 years ago in that tournament. He would then acquire the services of Paul Heyman, who would help him build the vision up to, but not including, the infamous I faked the knee injury just so I could screw Punk at SummerSlam. But something else happened during the whole Vision story. He truly got hurt and would be out for several months. He would eventually return to make Heyman's life and the Vision's life a living. Then once again, with the bloodline rearing its ugly head, what did he do? He had to fight Roman. He had to challenge his longtime brother. And we got a hell of a match and a hell of a moment afterward. These three men have dominated pro wrestling well over a decade. And at one time, all three of them held WWE heavyweight title. But they're all three are also Grand Slam champions. So think about that. These three guys that you never would have expected to tag together rewrote the faction playbook, whether it was the sneak attacks surrounding the ring, the entrance coming through the crowd, all of it. These three men redefined what a faction is. And for Seth, there is speculation that he is, at some point, going to call it a career. He's already said at some point, not too far from now, that's coming. So, somewhere down the road, we'll see. But overall, these three men have built a legacy of their own. Not just singles, but as a unit. The highs, the lows, all of it. And now the chapter to the book is done and over. Gunnar, what were some of your favorite moments from their careers altogether?
Altogether, I'm looking specifically at the beginning, their debut. If correct me if I'm wrong. Who was the first one they triple power bomb through that table?
Ryback.
It was Ryback. That's
Yeah.
a statement in on itself, right there, guys. When you're taking somebody as big and bad as Ryback, now granted, yes, he has his controversies now and blah 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 blah. But at the time, Ryback was looking at the next Goldberg. And
Sort of, yeah, I get it.
He was kind of this generation Goldberg for like a hot minute. Very hot minute, especially when they put him in the black trunks. Yeah, yeah, I know. If that wasn't such a we're trying to recreate Goldberg, I don't know what was. But when you debut in such a fashion like that, that's shocking. What's even more shocking, this is one of my favorite ones. I remember when they did it to The Undertaker.
Oh, in London, that's right.
When they did it to Taker, even at that point in his career, nobody touched Taker like that.
Mm-mm.
Nobody could lay a finger on The Undertaker like that, but the Shield did it. They left the dead man laying. They did it to his brother King.
Yep. They even made some killer entrances. One coming in London through the helicopter. They made some killer moments. They even had moments where they faced off with Cody and Dustin, a.k.a. Goldust. I was there for that one. They were also involved in a lot of good things as a whole and individually. So, yeah, absolutely. Though one of my favorite moments in entrances was the helicopter.
The helicopter was amazing. You have that match when you brought up Evolution. Who would have thought at that time Evolution would have reunited? I get it. We had all the players. We had Batista. We had Triple H. We had Randy, obviously. We were missing Flair.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that we would have that faction, one of, in their own right, a great all-time faction, reunite to take on the Shield. That's insane. That was wild to me at the time. I think at the time I was like 15, maybe 16. You got to remember I'm young at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, seeing Evolution come back was mind-boggling to me to take on these three guys that are just now becoming a thing, getting into their own. And then, the biggest thing that I'll always remember is that shocking return with Seth.
Oh, yeah, nobody saw that coming.
I remember watching that live and going, holy fuck, he did not just do that.
Get him.
The idea that they were going to break up the Shield.
That's right, Stace.
Yes, sir. We will always believe in the Shield because the Shield.
They rewrote the book.
They really did. Truly did. They
Ganging up on an opponent. They rewrote some killer ways to make an entrance. They all three, and I think Roman took a little bit longer.
Well, you mentioned it when you were going through Roman's career. It was very much in the early days.
This just broke.
Oh,
Breaking. Jacob Fatu has finally pushed Adam Pearce too far due to the incident that took place last Monday night on Raw with Royce Keys 2 weeks ago. Adam Pearce has been forced to do something to take care of Jacob and is flying an overseas star to the U.S. Who could it be? I don't know. But Adam Pearce had enough and said, now's the time for penance. This is just breaking.
So I guess you're going to have to tune into Monday Night Raw tomorrow to find out.
That's right.
But you mentioned it was Roman's bio that you were going through. He was getting shoved down the fans' throat at the time.
Yeah, no pun intended, no homo.
Exactly. No homo indeed.
Okay, because we know out there it's going to be like, ew.
But even though he was putting on consistently good matches, yes, okay, we had a sucker and succotash thing. Which I remember when he said that, yeah, I chuckled because I feel like Vince and I have similar humor. But at the same time, I went, why did you make this big Samoan bastard say that?
Understatement. I ended up dying of laughter because immediately, I'll never forget this as long as I fucking live. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. The look on his face was priceless. Yes. As soon as he said it, he knew. He knew it fucking flopped.
He knew. He's a smart man. He's a very intelligent man. Look at the way the highest paid performer in wrestling right now is Roman Reigns. I know we could talk shit about him saying that, LA Knight had the Walmart watch, if you will. That was still a $500,000 watch that he was wearing?
Mm-hmm.
That's something you and I will never be able to hold, buddy. But the point is, yes, it did take a while for Roman to become beloved. He had his fans during the Big Dog era.
No doubt about that.
He had his fans, but he was having worse than Cena reaction at that time.
We all know how that turned out.
Right. If you guys are listening to Conrad right now, there's a big conversation with Conrad's podcast. Is Roman Reigns one of the all-time greats? Is he a Mount Rushmore character? All-time greats,
maybe, but
all-time greats, I think.
I think he's floundering on it.
I think he's in at least in the top 10 to a degree. Is he Mount Rushmore? I would say no, only because you look at the lineage of the wrestling history. You got guys like Austin, Hogan, Cena, Taker, Shawn, insert thousands of other names here.
Stacy brings this up, and this is going to be my last point about it. Because we got one more thing we need to take care of.
And when that comes on, that's when I just, sit back and I let Eric have his fun. I just, when Eric goes off, you ain't going to hear a peep from me. I might as well go in the bathroom and let Eric do his thing.
Just wash your hands, okay?
Of course.
If they wouldn't have split them up, I don't think you would have got the catalyst to what we got now as long as it did. I do understand where Stacy's coming from. I do. But here's what I would have done instead. Just hear me out. Do the split the way we did it. then do something really, really interesting. That split stays for 2 years. Let's get to 2016. Who debuted at the Royal Rumble 10 years ago? That's right. AJ Styles. A couple of months later, his boys, Gallows and Anderson. And we all know the founder of the very shirt Gunner is wearing was there too. I had it in my head. Scenario, we get the brand split. Bullet Club lands whichever brand you want to put them on. Finn is they do the things where they keep teasing Finn coming back. But this is where it leads. One night Finn loses a title match and he's pissed. Like legit pissed. And then all of a sudden, knock. Come in. You don't pan away, but you hear a voice going, put that back on. He looks down and goes, ooh. And throws this up. And this. And you know what that means. And throughout the summer, you just have the 4 original members of Bullet Club run roughshod on the on both rosters. Just you don't know where they're gonna what's gonna happen. They've gone renegade. We get to Survivor Series. Stephanie and Mick don't know what to do. Shane and Bryan Danielson stymied as hell. Then you get a knock on their door at Survivor Series. In walks Roman first. Says, you need them dealt with? I'll do it. And the 4 of them look and laugh and go, you're going to do it on your own? And he goes, no. I brought back. And you play it in a way where before that, you tease the reconciliation like they did the one time where Roman's sitting there all discouraged. Dean walks into the frame, and then Seth walks into the frame, and they nod to each other. It's before that infamous where it's Roman and Seth doing this, and they're yelling at Dean, come on, come on. And then Dean finally comes back into the mix. And they did it more than once that way. So then you see that. But they still have 4. You're only up by 1. And I'm going to use 2 different names for the 4th. Here's how you do it. The first name I'll use is this. They go to leave and go, we like those odds. And Stephanie, Shane, Foley, and Danielson go, we don't want that. Because if one of you goes down, then everybody's screwed. Knock at the door. They go, we'll let this person. And in walks Samoa Joe and says, you got an infestation. He looks at the Shield, goes, I don't like you, but I respect you. Let's go deal with some roaches. Or the other way. The knock. This is how you could debut him on the main roster. Even though you did it the way you did it in NXT against Sami Zayn, which I thought was brilliant. It's beautifully done. In walks Nakamura. He goes, I'll pick what brand I want to go with when I'm ready. Finn. Looks at the Shield and goes, and Rome looks at them and goes, what do we got to lose? Just like that. And that's exactly how you do it. Okay? But now, that concludes a wrestler's life. The Shield will be remembered for many moments over modern wrestling. So to celebrate,
Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
the Cold Cut Man's happy.
He's very happy. He's a very happy man.
Well,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Before the other side of Eric comes out, this is where I'm going to say, I'm just going to sit here and Eric's going to take center stage tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever happens. Please be seated. Please be ready. I'm just here now. Eric, I'm afraid, but this is all you now, bud.
I know. Just sit tight. Don't go anywhere yet.
Have fun.
I don't know where do I begin. A great many people have faced my wrath over the last 9 seasons so far. Tony Khan, Jericho on multiple occasions, Punk, The Bucks, Bubba Ray Dudley, Tessa Blanchard. There's been plenty of them. But the repeat fucking offenders. And this one today, Paul Levesque, motherfucker, you just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you son of a bitch? You dumb, simple bastard. You just could not fucking leave well enough alone. You really couldn't, could you? Couldn't just, fuck off. You just couldn't leave it well enough alone. Just couldn't fucking do it. Could you? So now you forced my fucking hand. You forced me to have to tap into a part of my mind that I've not tapped into in quite some time. You forced me into a place that I didn't think I could go. A place that I knew I did not want to go back to unless provoked. But Paul, you forced it last week. You see, when you lose your brain and you shit your pants, well, this town needs an enema. And you, my friend, have had multiple enemas. But now, you face him. I really hoped I'd never have to go down this path. But now, your angel of death has arrived. Today, once again, my new electric chair. Paul. Yeah, competition is good for the mind. I begin with you? I could start by ripping you for your early part of your career once again, looking like the British aristocrat with a dildo so far up his ass it tickled his brain and made him probably jizz too much all over himself. I could pick on you for being Shawn Michaels' personal bitch boy during the course of your early career because you talked like this. Your promos sucked a big bag of dicks. The Rock finally put you in check. Then, 2012, 2013, you become a member of The Office. And you sometimes sounded like you were taking a big ass diarrhea shit from the tainted food at Taco Bell currently. There you are, sitting there, bald headed. If you would have merged your face and Vince's face, we would have had one of the ugliest looking Ron Jeremy mutant children in porn. Triple H with the longer beard, looking like a hobo trucker. Where do I begin with you? It says it all. You sold your soul. And for what? Let me explain something to you. You made a promise once that this would all be yours. And it did. But then the merger happened. I think that was Vince saying, fuck you. Shit. You didn't even let Vince's own son take the reign. You've become such a nepo, narcissistic, Gen X douchebag that can't get the enema stick out of his own ass.
Get him.
You look like that beard. Shave it. You're not an old school trucker. And you're not a fucking homeless hobo either. You're more like Patrick Mahomes in his rookie year with his thumb up his ass. Oh, wait, that's every year for Patrick Mahomes, so fuck you, bitch. You ain't shit. Yeah, I said it. You ain't shit. Okay? Hunter, your promos sound like you are straining your own ass while you take a shit. I can't begin to tell you the number of times when you had gone from the blue blood into the DX shit that you sounded like you were on the can trying to push out the biggest food baby on the planet. I mean, you sounded so fucking constipated. Mineral oil, magnesium citrate, and this current, whatever the fuck it is that's messing with the lettuce in the country. Let me explain something to you. Your promos made me want to have explosive diarrhea just so I didn't have to put up with it. Okay? Every time you cut a promo, you sound like a wet fart in church. It shouldn't happen. But when it's a wet fart in church, everybody's going to hear it. And here's the worst part. You know you're going to have to do the little duck waddle to make sure you didn't shit yourself or shart yourself. You have screwed up on creative as of late on a level that makes Vince look fucking tame. Now, mind you, the SmackDown piece with them losing the extra hour, I get it. So you can't yet use Ilya Dragunov and shit like that. But motherfucker, really? Really? You mean to tell me you can't figure out a way to make it work? Don't you have another promotion that you guys are invested in? Out of Mexico? Anyone with half a fucking brain knows that. You mean to tell me you can't talk to your closest best friend down in Orlando and say, hey, look, I want to polish some people up a bit and reintroduce them? Hi, what the fuck do you think you just did with Grayson Waller? No, and that wasn't shakes clapping, even though, you know, we all us fellas out there, you know, that love the ladies would like to, but that's beside the point. I'm amazed you could even still do that to Stephanie. Let alone, you probably got to use a fucking buttload of Blue Chew. Okay, because the way she was looking at the one fucking presser for her show, damn, she got that MILF thing going. Big Buddha ho, hump with it. Let me explain something. If you ain't hitting that right, I promise you, she's gonna get some 20-year-old coming up and he gonna clap it, and you gonna be like, how the fuck did I screw this up? Okay. And that's just me attacking you on the white front. Because if I was cutting a promo, yeah, I'd go there, but I'd look at you in the eyes and go, listen, dude, if you can't see it, we all can. Your creative makes me look back at the dark times of the mid 2000s after you fucking went kid friendly. Okay? Explain to me how this doesn't feel, everything the last couple of weeks to months doesn't feel like the time that you had a referee disqualify Seth Rollins in a fucking Hell in the Cell against The Fiend. It felt like I was watching that from Vince going, what the fuck? It's Hell in the Cell. There's no DQ. I would have loved to taken that ref out back with a 2x4 and first whack him in the ass, whack him in the head, and then find the biggest pine cone on the planet and do to him what Satan does to Hitler in Little Nicky every day, twice a day. Big pineapple right up the Hershey Highway.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
Yeah, Hunter. Your booking right now makes no sense. I feel like I'm watching The Amazing World of Gumball, where you did 7 hits of acid, 5 pounds of blow, 4 blunts, two, extras of this, 1 of this, 1 whatever, 4 blue chews, and you orgasmed all at once so badly you shit your brains out at the same time. So you had 2 bodily functions in one where you practically have no brains, and you cummed all over so fast that you looked like a premature ejaculating teenager that had all it took was the chick to fondle the balls, didn't even have to get fellatio to make it happen. And your head's up your ass. I could have fucking done this. You wanted a civil war? We've dealt with that already. We don't need another one. You're going to the fucking well too much. Yet you fucking trolls out there want to bitch about AEW using former WWE talent. Well, guess what? That's how you help build the other younger talent they're working with, you dumbasses. There was no point in having Jacob or Solo come back. Jimmy and Jay falling in line, whatever. Don't give a fuck. They're versatile. But you had 2 natural baby faces, Hunter. So, you ain't shit. What were you doing? Did you figure out a way to pull a Marilyn Manson and give yourself fellatio on your own? Fuck. I am sitting here brain fog, dumbfounded by the bullshit you've done. And I mean it. And at this point, I'm controlling the voice because I don't have the makeup necessary to really kick your ass. But yeah, here we are. You make me sick right now, Hunter. The mere fact that I am back here again. You know, I really tried to save this for around Halloween or a season finale sporadically. But you just couldn't leave well enough alone. You took the logic of the 6-man tag at SummerSlam and you just premature ejaculated and shat all over it. And then just for good measure, you buried it and pissed all over the fucking grave. Kind of like what James Cornette wants to do to Vince Russo. And FYI to Corny, I may not agree with you on a lot of shit, but guess what? After what I heard happen in TNA, motherfucker, Russo earned at least some of my respect, even though I've roasted his ass. But Disco Inferno, fuck you, bitch.
Oh.
You ain't shit.
Okay? Hunter. Right now, you growing hair, dude, if you're going to do it, just regrow it down to when you were in the ring. Get it over with. Stop with the corporate bullshit because, no offense, you've proven you shouldn't be. You are shitting the bed and you're letting other members of the creative team, including the cocksuckers on the board at TKO, tell you who to book. Where's your balls? They back in Stephanie's purse? Tell me I'm wrong. Hunter, every time everybody makes fun of you for not having balls, you prove them right. Where's the motherfucking cerebral assassin? That's the guy I need booking. I need the guy that would look corporate in the eye and say, go fuck yourself. You're acting like a perpetual child. You're acting like a bull who got his balls chopped off and is now hobbling and going, or whatever the fuck they sound like after they have their balls removed. Damn it. You know, what really fucking pisses me off about this is the fact that you have in your face tonight Jacob and Solo. Jacob could have stayed babyface and stepped in for Royce. Instead, you did it this way. Why? You're going to try and castrate Zilla next? Because he's already said, fuck you, I ain't doing it. You already had the MFT summon Haku. Good idea. But you're really wanting to create a civil war. Why? You want that to be the catalyst to bring the final boss back to sort this out? Makes no sense. Hunter, here's another thing you should be doing. Challenging TKO in the ticket sales because you're catering too much to a casual fan and not the generational fans that got you to this point, who can no longer afford it because you are allowing things like Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and others to jack the prices up and shove it so far up the consumer's ass with no lube, no glove, no nothing. Shit. I'm hoping Congress, and this is the only time I'm going to say anything political in this mess, I hope Congress fixes your asses because they're doing it, because these motherfucking entities are doing it for music. They're going to fuck pro wrestling fans because TKO, in its infinite jack off wisdom, wants to try and get up to UFC money. Bitch, you got to UFC money. Vince knew how to do that without jacking the price up high. I used to be able to go to a Monday Night Raw in Buffalo. Floor seats were $98 to $100. I should not be having to pay $1,000 for the floor, just the floor. It's with nothing in exchange for it. You want to know what you get? If you want me to pay $1,000, this is what I want from it. I want that VIP. My own, souvenir chair to take home. I want early access in the ring, special merch, meet and greet. That's not unreasonable to ask. Vince used to provide it. Hell, Tony Khan's doing it. But guess what? He's actually made ticket sales affordable. You are pushing the general fans to do exactly what I know they're going to do. Tell you to suck it, literally. I'm not talking about the tit either. You premature ejaculate or whatever. You know what they're going to do? They're going to shove it so far up your ass. I bet you didn't all realize AEW is now worth at least $3 billion in less than a decade. Where WWE is like 5 to 7 times more. Look what happened in a short span of almost 7 fucking years. AEW is above the $1 billion value mark. As a whole. You're pushing the fans to say, oh, we're going to check this out. Hi. Big fuck up with Netflix. I get why you did it. But here's a thought. I'm going to lose all the cable revenue. So how am I going to do that? We got promised no fucking ads for Raw on Netflix. And you motherfucker were the exact one who said it. And guess what? What did we get? 10 to 15 minutes worth of a fucking set of ads that don't mean shit, and we miss a quarter of the fucking match. And yet you have Bruce Pritchard on Unreal, pissy and bitchy on the debut edition on Netflix because Punk and Seth go over. Hey, Bruce, suck my left fucking nut and kiss my right ass cheek, jackass. That needed to go over because it was a hell of a match. Hunter, again, did you shave your coin purse and give them to your wife because you don't want to use them or you're too lazy or stupid? Right now, your wife's fondling your own fucking balls for you. And I ain't talking about the ones on her chest either. God, I missed, when she had the big fake titties and she did the bend over thing on SmackDown as GM. I'm still jealous of John Cena for getting to smack her on the ass. But I digress. Paul, you're allowing TKO to fuck up the very thing your father-in-law did. For what? Cheap buck? Cheap fuck? Whatever. Here's a thought. Get your shit straight. Get your brains back in your fucking head. Look at this logically and go, oh shit, I'm pissing the fans off. But then again, you're too busily letting Stephanie fondle your coin purse. Oh no, wait, I'll take that back. TKO has your coin purse and won't give it up because you're too chicken shit to fucking do anything. I'm blinded by you're going to lose Bayley. If that wasn't a fuck you tweet about teasing All In, you're nuts. And to the TK board, you ain't shit. Okay? Because quite frankly, you're lucky I'm not screaming and swearing. Because right now I want to go ballistic. But I can't because I don't have everything else. But understand one thing, Paul. You're going to piss the wrong big name off. Imagine if this was Roman Reigns. Bet you didn't think about that one, dumbass. Or here's a better one. Right after the first round of Summer and Punk 2011, where you became the Office. And folks, I'm going to fill you in on something before we put this motherfucker out of his misery. If you remember the promo that Cena cut on Vince, if you fire me tonight, I will walk on somebody else's show and keep doing this, brother. That was hey, Vince, if you fuck me on live TV tonight, by Thursday night, I will be in Florida, inside the impact zone, and I will put you down. And that was, in fact, a shoot. So, Hunter, you have talent who openly say they aren't coming back because of your father-in-law. What's going to happen when you have talent that say that about you? Oh, wait, you do. You know, you fucked this guy twice. No lube. And his wife, extra no lube, and Scarlett and Killer Cross. You mean to tell me you couldn't figure out a way to make that work? You were able to do it. And he finally started calling out the hypocrisy. He had his own quote unquote pipe bomb moment, his own moment where he went, okay, fuck this. I'll ask for forgiveness later. He took the bull by the balls. What'd you do? You fucked him in his hometown of Las Vegas out of WrestleMania. And soon after, you fucked him over. And you had fans pissed, chanting, we want Cross, and instead saying, we want Brock. You're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking idiot.
Got your ass.
The fact that you dropped the ball. You've signed talent just to spite Tony Khan. So, who's petty? You guys tried to block them from big arenas again. Who did that? WCW tried that. That failed. How the fuck do you think that's going to eventually work out? Because there's going to come a point where AEW is going to cross into the holy grail of all arenas. New Japan and Ring of Honor did it. So guess what, motherfucker? I do not want a monopoly again. Because if a pro wrestling monopoly happens, I'm done with mainstream pro wrestling. I'm sticking to the indies. Fuck this. You're going to piss me off. So I'm going to ask you once. Cut your shit. And now, just to make sure you got the point, time to scream.
Oh, I got a live one here. Oh, there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
So read my lips, dipshit. Knock it off. Okay? You forced me here. The only reason I didn't go that balls to the wall,
God damn it, this is good.
because I tried to stay as calm as I can. Because I don't want to let that out unless I'm really forced. But you hit that border today. You got a little bit because of the voice change. Back and forth, kiddos. My point is this, Hunter. Get your shit together. Because if you don't,
Please don't kill the messenger.
but if I got to, I'm going to. Okay, Finn, dude, seriously, quit trying to stir the shit. Okay? Hunter, right now, your booking game,
They are trash. Horrible.
I mean, hell, I don't think that, I think your pullout game's stronger than that. Oops. I mean, shit. You got this talented motherfucker going. I'm too old for this shit. Yeah, I had to steal that earlier. So, but my point is this: enough is enough. Get your shit together, make this right. I don't know how else to say it. But folks, we've come to the end of the road. Another episode is in the books. I know we went longer than I anticipated, but we had a lot to dive into. So, Gunner, tell the good people at home what you got going on this week. What's going on? Where to find you? What's new?
So as of right now, I got a rare off weekend this weekend, brother. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm just going to be at Chaotic for helping out on Friday night. Other than that, I got nothing this weekend. That's all at the end of the month, but we'll talk about that next week or the following week. As of social media, you guys know what to do. Find me on Instagram at redneck_Moody24. Find me on Facebook at Gunner Moody. Keep up to date with everywhere I'm saying I'm going to be at. If I'm posting about it, more than likely you'll see me there. Come say hi, come chat with your boy. Let's talk wrestling, or we could talk whatever the hell you want to talk about. You know how it is. Eric, on to you, my man.
Me, you all know how to find me on all the socials. That's Eric37 Joker 0, where the O would be. I'm always creating chaos. You don't know what we're going to dive into next week. But understand one thing, ladies and gentlemen. You come from me, you best not miss. You come from my throne, you best not miss. Because if you miss, I'm going to give you a shocking punishment. You ain't going to like it. I will roast your ass. Oh, and I almost forgot for Hunter. You sound like you took a hand job and it hurt like, I don't know, a hand job using sandpaper. So you probably fondled and have way too smooth balls or a deflated coin purse. Oops, not really. Not sorry. Okay, in closing, folks, what are we going to do next week? Well, wrestling what if? I'm not telling you. You're going to have to find out. But that being said, shout out to the ladies yesterday for Black Hearts Angels. Well done. As always, like, share, subscribe, stay notified, Telegram, Baby Mama, Google Plus, your sister's ass, Pony Express. What can Brown do for you? Go fuck yourself, FedEx and UPS, and fuck the Postal Service. Don't forget to check out the link tree. That's linktree/Off the Top Ropes Podcast. You'll find all the links to where we're at, the socials, where to listen to us, where to find us, where to see us. And also don't forget to check out our friends over at W and Swift Energy and Habits and Okazi Clothing. And of course, use that promo code OTTRMOB for 10 or 15% off of your first purchase. Help us keep the lights on. You'll be glad you did. But with that being said, you know,
Yeesh, Pengers, how corny can you get?
I hate to sound cliche or corny. I'm looking at that time clock. I got a couple of errands to run now that we're going to be calling it for the day. But shout out to the Pod Mob men. Great show Tuesday night. Ladies, as always, love you. Great job last night. But folks, make sure you keep tuning in because you never know what I'm going to say. You never know what we're going to talk about. And, excuse me, above all else, thank you, Dankeschön. And above all else, just never know when I'm gonna. Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Keep him in, buddy. Keep him in.
No. You know, kitties. Your Uncle Joker here has actually been somewhat tame. But I think it's time. Now that we're getting into the fall. Ooh. The wheels started turning. But what chaos are we going to talk about next week? Who knows? But one thing is for sure. You'll always have a good time. So make sure you also check out my friends, Mitch and the Hardcore Sports Network. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe. help us get to that 1,000 mark. We're almost there. But shout out to Shiz, aka the boss, Big Mike, and everybody here. I love ya. I wouldn't be here without you. Gunner, you know this. But to quote Tony Schiavone, we're desperately out of time. We gotta go.
Hey, Clavis, wake up. The show's